Feedback. Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton.
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
Inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for Feedback,
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.
And take us along with you. Man, oh man, we have WHPR on demand on, is it YouTube? You know, I am not a techie. I don't pretend to be, but I'm so glad that you all have tuned in. And on the Rapids, we're at 15.2. On Comcast Cable Xfinity, we're at 90. And I would like you to help us spread this word to others so that they too can tune in. I want to say good morning. Good morning to Rosa, and good morning to Sister Fedora, and to Derek, and to Ron, and to Charlene, and I want to let everybody know that tomorrow, since Vera McGee has had the loss of her brother, Murphy McGee, the funeral is at Swanson's Funeral Home on the east side. That's East Grand Boulevard at Mac. Family hour and gathered at 10 a.m., and the funeral is to follow. There's viewing today between 3 and 6. We send our sympathies and prayers out for Vera, who actually lost her sister last year. And we pray that God's strength will help her to pull through the kind of grief that goes on when it's not just one family member, but two in so short a period of time. The videos, is someone you want to say hey to?
Yes. First, I want to give my condolences to the Keys Torrance family for losing their brother, and let us all try to do better with our health. And I want to give shout outs to Sister Jackie, Sister Ruth Ann, Andrea, Brother Fred, Professor Griggs, Brother James Ford. And I want to ask you all as well to, first you see the numbers at the bottom of the screen. I'm holding up my pen and paper, and that's because I want to record things, and I want you to be able to keep information as well. And second, we want to ask you to ask your neighbors, friends, family members, co-workers, church members, and others that you interact with to also tune in and become a part of the conversation.
Yes, and we can't forget to say happy Monday to Gladys and the Clementine as well. And for those of you who want to call in with some information, 313-868-4336. 313-868-0351. Always feel free to call in and share, ask questions, etc. You know, it's the Feast of Famine around here. And we are expecting a couple of guests. But in the meantime, I guess what did they say, the big elephant in the room is what's going on with the indictment, which is supposed to take place tomorrow at 2 p.m. in New York. And that is the indictment of the former president, Donald Trump. There are those who still will say president without saying former, because they want to believe in their mind that he is still in charge. But I say it's a good thing he's not in charge. We may all have to learn how to speak Russian.
Well, they're certainly self-deluded, but we know somebody, I thought it was very interesting and amusing to me. We were familiar with the phrase GOP, which refers to Republicans, but somebody used it as an acronym and said the GOP stands for Group of Psychopaths.
Oh,
And I go along with that. And one of the things I found amusing and interesting at the same time was the Tuesday that the former president said that they were going to indict him didn't come to pass the day he said so. But what was amusing about it was that they were expecting throngs of people. There were probably less than 24 people in New York around the courthouse at that time. They had some, reporters to interview and, the cameras and stuff. So there was less than 24 people. So he's lost a lot of his clout, his credibility, but there's always going to be a few. So this is a wait and see moment. The United States, as it stands right now, is in a sort of civil war mood on a whole, so to speak, because the crazy people won't. And I just want to take that one step further when we deal with these last few mass shootings. And one political person, I'm not sure if he was a senator or a representative, said what we need is more guns in the school. Yeah, that sounds
boy.
Yeah. Justify that.
Guns in the school. Well, I think one of the most recent incidents with a gun in the school was by a student with a gun in the school, and he shot his teacher. But that's crazy.
Yeah, and I just want to, finish on that point by saying that for them to have that type of mentality or say that it's mental illness, well, I don't know if you and I were saying this, Theo, or someone that we were discussing it with, but they say the police are never there, obviously, when a crime happens. They only show up after the crime. So for them to say more guns in the school, the crime has already been committed. Right. If you keep the guns out of the people's hand to begin with, because this particular individual who shot the 3 children and the 3 adults recently, a former student who was 28 years old, so that means they had long since graduated from that particular school, had mental illness, and that individual was able to go out and buy 7 guns from 5 different stores within maybe a week or two prior to them committing the mass shooting. So for them to say that mental illness is the issue, well, there's a lot of mentally ill people. Some of them are in Washington right now.
Yes.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Matt Gaetz. I could go down on the list. So I'm just saying that to say that, particularly for our homes, let's try to monitor, make sure that if you have weapons in your home to protect your homes, that you also have them where they can stay away from children, because it's a sad thing when one child finds a gun, can't distinguish between real and toy, and shoots another child because they're imitating what they saw on television, which is another problem.
You're right. And the interesting thing that's going on is, it's political. I don't care if it's political. What's important is no one is above the law, and the prosecutor has done his due diligence. Donald Trump has called him an animal and whatever else he could think of to call this man who happens to be black. And the $4 million was reported after it was announced that he was going to be indicted and all of that. So within a week or so, $4 million was raised. And what else was said about that is the average donation was $35. $35. Not $1 million, not $500,000, but $35. And when I heard that, I said, that's interesting. It says to me that the people who allowed him to accumulate this $4 million by sending 35 are the same as that group, or same from that group that went to the Capitol on January the 6th. Now, in my opinion, there were 2 types of people who went to the Capitol on January 6th. There was the Klan members and the Proud Boys and the this and the that, and they're all gangsters and anxious to start fighting and killing people. They even brought two gallows, one to use to hang the Vice President Pence, and the second gallows to hang Nancy Pelosi. Okay? Now that's that half of the group. The other half of the group appeared to be Jim Jones Kool-Aid drinking people. They just thought, well, we need to go to the Capitol because the president says so, President Trump, and so he wants to take back the country, and yeah, I follow him. And they marched up there, and they're just like the Kool-Aid drinking people that followed Jim Jones. And that's what seems to be going on right now. Those spending an average of $35 seem to be a part of that group, the Kool-Aid drinking group. We have somebody on the line.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Well, this is James Ford from the Obama Weekend. I can't view you from where I'm at, but I just want to say one thing, and I'm not being here long. I'm trying to get a one-paragraph letter made out to the City Council of Detroit from everybody that says they're stating their displeasure with the red light running and drag racing from the city of Detroit. They can just send the email to Janice M. Waters at gmail.com. Janice M. Waters at gmail.com. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just one paragraph stating displeasure, and we're going to do something with that letter that's going to be impactful to them. We're going to get this job done. God bless you. I hate to interrupt you.
Okay,
Thank
no,
you very much.
you don't have to go. Hold on.
Okay.
The email again, please, is what?
Janice M. Waters.
Is that Janice, like a lady's name, correct?
Yeah, like Janet, yes.
Okay, Janice.
Janice.
Janet.
J-A. Spell it.
Janice.
Okay. The next.
Janet
M1.
Waters.
What? Janice.
Waters.
There's a middle initial you giving?
Yeah, M.
M, like in Mary. Okay, Janice M.
M. Waters.
Spell that.
Janice.
No, it's
M.
Waters.
Watkins.
That's what I'm trying to get you to spell. The last word.
Waters.
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 Okay. What came after that?
No, that's it. Just Janice M. Waters.
Okay.
At gmail.com.
Oh, okay. Janice M. Waters at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay, Janice M. Waters at gmail.com. And the one paragraph is to say what?
The one paragraph just, we want to make it short so that people can understand. Stating the displeasure with the blatant red light running and drag racing in Detroit.
To state your displeasure with the red light abuse, where they are racing through red lights.
Right.
And
drag racing.
And drag racing. Okay.
In Detroit.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is to go to the city council, you said.
It's going to the city council and other powers.
Okay.
And everybody.
Okay.
So we just want to state the displeasure, let them know the discomfort of the people, and we're going to do something with those letters.
Okay, I'll make it a point myself not only to text it to people I know, but also to put it on Facebook for anyone who's living in Detroit.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what's interesting about that, just within the last week, there were two And I don't even understand how, because these are some cars that like little compact cars. Two compact cars were racing, and there was another car that they weren't aware of who was doing those spin outs or burnouts where they were just going in a
Oh,
circle,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
didn't realize that the guy was doing the burnouts, and the two cars that were racing, one of them hit the car that was doing spin outs in a intersection and actually killed that person.
Oh,
And the
wow.
people that they interviewed were crying, because number one, the two shouldn't have been racing,
Right,
and the other one shouldn't have been doing burnouts.
right.
And they just crossed paths a violent way, and somebody lost their life. So what? Now this was just outside of Detroit, but I've seen on 7 Mile in Greenfield where, because they travel in groups, and I've been over on Grand River and Oakman when they've done the same thing. What they do is there's like a caravan of people who know that there's going to be some people within the group who are going to do these burnouts or do certain things. So the people in the caravan try to block off some of the side streets so cars can't enter on Grand River, or they block Oakman as well, and then they can allow them to get together. They all get together generally on like TikTok or Facebook and say, this is the location, everybody hit this spot, this is what we're going to do. So we're in a situation, and I hope everyone who was listening to James Ford, I'm going to give that information again as well, that we have to really, because I see this daily, there's not one day I don't see at least two people run a red light. Some of them may stop at the light and then run it, and some just blow right through it, without even giving any regard to if there's any traffic coming in the intersection. They just do what they do. So
Wow.
we have to really press our officials to get on, whatever they have to do. I would almost come out of retirement if they would just let me write tickets. I don't want to be into no situation where, you have to, somebody who's a barricaded, this, that, or the other. All I want is traffic enforcement. But I would almost come out of retirement just to kind of slow this down, take their car, give them a hefty fine, suspend their license, whatever you got to do. This needs to stop, because as the death I spoke about earlier, there will be more deaths. It's becoming warm outside. People are going to act up even more, and we just need to put some sort of a leash on it now and let people who get arrested be an example to those who would be tempted to do that type of thing, to think twice before they do it. Lose your ride. If you're going to do this, you lose your ride for 90 days or whatever. But this is a very critical thing. We're going to have children trying to cross the street. And certainly when school is out, it's going to get worse, because there'll be more children out there who are subject to this type of madness. So I hope people take heed of this, because it really concerns me. I drive slow like a turtle. You got to go around me. I'm not going to give you the leisure of feeling like when you get on my bumper, I should speed up. And then if I have to brake for something, then you're going to hit me. Just make them go around you if you have to, but don't put them or yourself in a position of being hurt because of somebody's foolishness. And this is black, white, Arab. I've seen everybody doing it. So this crosses all racial lines and ethnic lines. This is just something that we have to really we have to get a grip on it. This is our city, and either we're gonna run our city or we're gonna let somebody run it.
Yeah, that is, that's a consideration that people need to take heed to, because it seems that when someone in our community does something unacceptable, that there are others who want to run to another race of people to solve the problem. And they don't seem to realize that the other race of people are just standing there waiting to take from you. And that is truly what happened with this District Detroit proposal. $800 million. And for 35 years, they won't have to pay property tax. But yet every year, all of the other homeowners in the city have to pay property tax, And within that project, I heard that there was a hotel to be built, and there were going to be businesses, but I don't remember hearing much about housing. Do you remember what you heard about housing?
Now they're supposed to have some, as they call it, mixed use houses where they will allow certain people who, I guess it's like a set aside, certain people with limited income. They will set aside a few units for them, and they will integrate them into whomever the larger group is. Now, from what I understand, okay, because I believe Penske and Illich are the primary beneficiaries, although I won't say Gilbert wasn't either, but, they give you a lot of information. They only tell you one time, so you have to try to recall what you can. But from what I understand, particularly with Illich, there was a lot of land area around that 2 years ago or so, while they were doing the Little Caesars Arena, they were supposed to also be developing those areas that they had bought, whether they were parking lots, whether they were building structures, etc. But for 2 years they didn't do anything. So now they're petitioning the city again and trying to say how many construction jobs will come out of this, how many jobs in retail, etc. will come out of this, what this will do in terms of bringing other conventions and other type of events to Detroit. But we've been hearing that over and over again, folks.
Right.
But that's like somebody said, we'll do it tomorrow, but tomorrow never gets here because there's always a tomorrow to follow whatever today is. So we've been gullible and inactive as well. Inactive and somewhat apathetic as well because we don't act on it. Theo and I were talking on the way here about, and I won't just address the name, but about a council person who seemed to be interested in one particular part of the city that she represents, although she represents people who are at both ends of the economic spectrum. So, but this lady favored the one over the other in order to curry favor. And my thought was this, and I'll just say it as I think it. The people in those affluent areas were the ones who were more likely to vote and become politically and socially engaged. This council person tended to, I would say, cater to them as opposed to the people who were middle or lower class. And I say that to say that people who are considered, I'm among them, middle or lower class, if we don't act, then all we can do is react. Because whatever they wanted, they being those with the money, will get what they want. If we don't do anything, then all we can do is react to, oh, wow, they overlooked us again. That's where voting becomes, look, 2024, we're in 2023 now. 2024 is going to be some voting.
Yeah.
I want to ask what y'all going to do.
Right. And I think that people need to realize that there is power in their vote. The power is in your hands. The power can be used for the good of the community. Other than that, there's a lot of gentrification taking place, also known as Negro removal. And it is being done so smoothly that most people don't even realize it. I'm glad that there are some who refuse to succumb to that, and they want to stay here. There was an article, I don't know, some paper here recently that talked about, black people are moving out of Detroit. They're really moving out, and that's to make you think that that's something that you should be doing. If all the black folk are moving, well, I don't believe that for a minute. And it's a matter of understanding the power that you have, the power that you can control. So,
and I want to add to that because there's a lot of validity to this. I know people, and this generally is offered to people who are on lower income level, the Section 8. The Section 8, because a family member of mine, but I know others who were involved as well, were given vouchers, but one moved to Inkster. They're always outside of the city. So, again, this is an example of Negro removal. I'm going to go a little bit more into that, but we're going to take our caller now.
Sure.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name and how you're viewing us, please?
Yes, my name is
Thanks.
Fellas Duke. And I wanted to know what can we do about the homeless people that's walking around in the city with no place to go?
Well, you know, there was some money sent to the city of Detroit and to the Detroit public school system from the federal government, meaning the President of the United States. And in both cases, it was close to $1 billion, close to $1 billion. And we've been asking, talking about HUD research, what is the use for that money? Because when people ask for it, they'll always come up with a reason why. Well, no, you can't use it for that. You can't use it for this. Well, what can you use it for? And to have so many homeless people, as you were mentioning, here in the city, and no process to take care of them, that makes it very disheartening for one, disgusting for another, because some of the people who are homeless by no fault of their own need to have some services, and there need to be more locations for the homeless to stay, especially at times when the weather is as severe as it is here in Detroit.
And I just want to add, and there's so many things going on. Let's say so many fires to put out. It's hard to know which one to turn the hose on. But one of the things that I know that would be effective, one of the things I say is people showing up. And somebody presented this idea to me. I thought it was a great one. Let's say, ma'am, that you and maybe 10 people that you know, because they always give you a limited amount of time when you stand before city council. But if there's like 5 or 10 people who say, okay, yeah, well, we're just going to focus on homeless, because once they cut you off, if there's somebody else in that group who will pick up the baton, so to speak, and then bring it up, they feel more pressure than if it's just one individual that, you know, they don't want to hear anyway, and they can cut them off when the 2 minutes is done. So I know that we have to become a little bit more active with the people that we elect, because they're not going to do anything if they're not pushed to do it. They may be inspired to get the money from corporate or private businesses or those who have an agenda, but we have to have that same agenda. So if 5 or 10 people come before the city council when they do have those meetings, and one just picks up the homeless baton when the other one is cut off, more or less, then I think that would exert a little bit more pressure, because as Theo said, $1 billion is a lot of money, and I'm sure it could go to help those who are in most need.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, we are at the bottom of the hour, and time for us to take our first break. For those of you who have tuned in today, thank you so much. And during the break, get your coffee or your orange juice, your tea, and call somebody. Tell them to tune in and to call in and share. And we'll be back momentarily.
It's time to do something more. Join the Detroit Police Department, either straight out of high school or make a bold career change. Officers start at $40,000, plus health insurance, paid vacation, retirement plans, and more. Apply online at joindetroitblue.org.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, there gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist, a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime. It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Wallman.
Wally Wallman here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chew and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you.
social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
Chew!
That's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga.
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
A positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.
Along with you. You're tuned in to Feedback, a positive image production by Hood Research. And thank you so much for being tuned in. And call us. Oh, we have a caller on the line still with the... Oh, she hung up. Oh, okay. That was the lady we were speaking with. You know, as I say, it's either feast or famine here with us. And today, I guess, is famine.
And I want to address a point you made prior to the break about Negro removal. I just recently got a book from someone that spoke about how they ran the 375 I-75 freeway through Paradise Valley and Black Bottom. And just for those of you who may not know, this is a phenomenon that happened during the 50s, and 60s all over the nation. It was a concerted effort to destroy any type of prosperity, any type of economic development within the black community, because as many of you know, particularly the older ones, we were doing very well. I'm a product of Black Bottom, which was just, I guess, neighboring Paradise Valley, but we had our own everything: dentists, doctors, barbershops, hotels, you name it. And then some of the prominent actors, I want to say actually musicians more or less, Della Reese, Joe Tex, you would have Cab Calloway, just different people who were prominent. And this is where you had what was the so-called Chitlin circuit, but that's because African Americans weren't allowed to perform in Caucasian venues, so they had to circulate within Chicago, Detroit, Harlem, Watts, and other black communities nationwide. So it was a concerted effort, and now I guess, and Theo, you may have heard about this too, about how they want to, restore the area that used to be Paradise Valley, Black Bottom, but all the people are gone. So I don't know what they're restoring.
Fill in 375. And when they fill in 375, the land around there will be what they call contiguous. And that makes them eligible for other things. They, meaning the Illages and with Pinsky and what's the other one? From Cleveland.
Yeah, his name comes
Gilbert.
Yeah.
And gives them an opportunity to say, aha, we want this land over here. Yes, it's fresh land or no fresh land. That area belonged to African Americans who had businesses as well as homes. And I don't believe that they were compensated fully.
And I think the only thing that they're going to do, have a memorial plaque or something that says this used to be Paradise Valley or Black Bottom. That's all we get out of it is a lousy plaque. And I want to give you all another thing that occurred. I believe it was between 83rd and 87th Street in New York. It was called Seneca Village. More than 60-70% of it was black populated, but they wanted to take that land, which they did, and co-opted it more or less, claiming eminent domain. I mean, they can always jump on that bandwagon, and then they co-opted it and said that it was run down, and they just disparaged it, and now it's a part of what is now called Central Park. But that was another example of Negro removal. The same thing's happening in Harlem right now. Many of you may remember when Bill Clinton was president. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he was president. He was able to go to Sylvia's, which is a very popular place, eating place, soul food in Harlem, New York. And some of the people were saying that the Harlem they grew up in has become, as you said, Negro removal, gentrified. Now you see more Caucasians there. So they're just encroaching on everything that we established, we built a foundation for, and now they want it. And as you said, the Illages, Gilbert, Penske, etc., since Detroit has been nominated for the second year in a row of having the best river walk in the nation, you can see all these enterprising minds, these hustlers, these pimps who are trying to themselves say, okay, yeah, well, we can see that because of what we have as a draw, we're going to use this as a springboard to, as you say, Theo, grab the other land, which once it's filled in, because they're not going to allow that many black developers to be involved in it. We might have a few small contractors involved, but you know where the big money's going.
Oh, yes, yes. And I just can't imagine if they fill in 375 that there will be high-end properties and businesses that are put there. But my question is, with this new committee that we have, a reparations committee, will they take into consideration that that area has been restored and try to make those people whole who were just pushed out? No other way to describe it. They were pushed out, you know. Oh, let me tell you this other thing. I'll back up to this indictment on tomorrow. I believe that the Republicans are not putting in big money and not seeing a whole lot, because if you remember when he ran for president, there were 17 people who ran,
right? And
they may still want to run for president. So if they just quietly allow this to go on and pray for success, then with him out of the way, they will have another chance to be accepted by the Republican Party as presidential candidate.
Yeah, Nikki Haley, she was the first one to jump in, and now I think within the last couple of days, another person who's unknown to me, but he sees this as an opportunity, and we know that DeSantis and Mike Pence are sitting on the sidelines kind of playing it cool for right now, as you say, to see how this thing plays out and how far it goes and how many people are loyal to him. Because one thing, they're still scared of him. They're very much scared of the man because he was able to, as you say, in a cultish way, light a fire up under some of the people that are involved now. So and then he's got the little nicknames, obviously, that he's going to give, tags that he gives people. So I agree with you that they're waiting to kind of see how this plays out. And people should keep in mind, too, that this is just one of many indictments that are coming down. There's the one in Georgia when he was trying to find more votes, and then the insurrection committee. So, excuse me, there's a lot of pending cases that he's going to have to deal with. And I'm kind of glad, Theo, I just want to say this, that I'm glad that I guess the prosecutor in New York had the guts to follow through. He's received death threats as well, but I'm glad that he had the guts to follow through, because what this may do is it might cause others in the other states where there are indictments and legal proceedings that are still sort of in the mix. This might allow them or tempt them to go ahead and in their own way say, okay, yeah, well, since New York did it, we don't have any fear of doing it ourselves. So I really hope that prompts them to move on that. But I want to tell you all who are, again, 2024 is the next year that we're going to see. Do you have yourself registered for voting? What about your family, your household, the people in your circle? Because as we know, things happen fast. And before you know, you look up and here we go again.
Right.
And if you're not ready, they say you should always stay ready, and then you don't have to get ready when things happen. Some people wait to get ready and then they run out of time. We have to stay ready. And it doesn't take much of your time. Make sure that you're on the rolls to be able to do this, because there were over 70 million people that voted for 45. So that's 70 million people that we have to deal with, who have a mind of turning the clock back.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, we definitely got that group. And this what is her name? Taylor Greene is talking about going to New York for tomorrow to create some issues. I certainly hope that the police who are on watch now will have an opportunity to introduce her to one of those cells in New York. She's crazy.
Well, yeah, we have and they have actually hijacked, initially 45 hijacked the Republican Party, but now he's got his opinions who are doing the same thing. So they had to put her on a committee in order to appease her, because Kevin McCarthy wasn't going nowhere. 15 votes or so before he could be I guess elected more or less, or positioned as the Speaker of the House. So they've got a lot of fractures within their party. Now, smart people would take advantage of that. When you know that, if there's fighting inside your house, Theo, then I ain't got to worry about you or the other ones inside your house, because y'all fight amongst yourself. I can use that to my advantage to take over, which is what smart, intelligent people would do. And I say that wishing that the Democrats were smart, intelligent people, but they seem to have a little streak of weakness, and they only react as well. They're afraid to put their foot down, but that's why I say again that if these people are supposed to represent you, then what you should do is make sure they represent you. And we're just at that position now. The city council, now I don't know, Theo, you may know this better than me. Do they still have a channel, like an access channel where people can actually see?
Yes. You, if you have Comcast Cable Xfinity, you can go to Channel 10. And Channel 10, you can watch the meetings as they happen. Then they do have rebroadcasting, once the day is over. Then if you want to watch something that's going on with the mayor's office, you can turn to Channel 21, I believe it is. Same outlet, Comcast Cable Xfinity. And on Channel 22, they have other information from different people from the community and what may have gone on to name a street or some kind of event like that. But for the council, is channel 10, and for the mayors, basically channel 21, and channel 22. If there's a number of events and you need the space to get them out.
So I hope those of you who are paying a pretty hefty bill to Comcast Xfinity will take advantage of that, because knowledge is the power that we have, and then we share that so that others can be aware of it too. What I know, I share with you. What you know, you share with us, and that's why those numbers are at the bottom of the screen as well. We have to sort of put together some sort of grouping or unity or coalition. And Theo, I want to ask you to share with people about that sign you got in your front yard and what we're trying to do for the city of Detroit.
Oh, well, there's a community block club that asked us to work with them. That's the Ohio Block Club. And Val McPaul is the president of the block club. And they have generated some signs. And the sign says, "Love where you live, don't litter." And it's to remind people that it's you that has to take care of the area around you. If someone drops a, potato chip bag in your yard or right in front of your home, and they just continue to walk down the street, if you don't pick it up, it will just stay there and other trash will accumulate. So even though it is something that would be annoying, you have to love where you live and don't litter and keep your property up. There's such a thing as curb appeal, and we all should have curb appeal in front of our homes. And, I asked Val McPaul about the KDB teens, and I think she may not be old enough to remember the KDB teens. Keep Detroit Beautiful teens, that's what it was. And that group was initiated when Mayor Coleman Young was in office. And it seemed to work very well because there were eyes and ears added to that as well. The DTE people, I guess at that time must have been Edison and Michigan Consolidated Gas Company, Water Department, all of those who were on the street, Police Department, keep your eyes peeled so that if a child appears to be in danger, you can call 911 and let them assist in finding out what to do about it. But the idea, the process she has going on with the signs is going along well. And hopefully others will catch on and just want to help, build it up, spread it out. And hopefully you will begin to notice a difference in the area.
And I would add that there's a certain type of mentality that's developed when you walk through an area that is littered, and one that the grass is cut and there's no litter and certain things. There's a mentality. Now, I know somebody recently put something on the Facebook, which I thought was interesting. Now, there's a difference between being poor and broke. Now, poor can be a state of mind. And unfortunately, when you see an area that, as they say, sometimes looks like a war zone, there's burnt-out homes, vacant lots, overgrown grass and such, those type of things shape your mentality psychologically. So on a subconscious level, when you see that stuff, there's nothing to inspire you about it, which is why the program that the lady Val is sponsoring on Ohio, but we would like to see that like water just spread across the city, is when you walk down a place, and we all know this, when we walk down the street, and there's many beautiful streets in the city of Detroit, I can tell you, they try to paint a negative picture. So as Theo said at the beginning of the show, give you a reason to leave so somebody else can come in. And I've done work all around the city, and I have seen in areas I never thought I would see Arabs, Caucasians, and others moving into because they understand the value of what we have. But we've been given that imagery of the suburbs, which ain't always that good either. They have problems with their water systems and stuff because they feed off of Detroit anyway. So they have trouble with their water systems. And then they want to again blame the city of Detroit when it's maybe Sterling Heights or Dearborn who is responsible for the poor quality of the service. But they'll blame it. But my point being that we have many areas that are doing very well. You can ride along Outer Drive from Livernois all the way around. It's a great area. There's so many different block clubs or community groups that are working. But the primary thing is that when you see an area that's littered, that automatically, whether we know it or not, has an emotional impact, a psychological impact. So it's important to make where you're at something that when you come in, you worked hard all day, maybe at a fast food place or something, to know that when you come in, you have something that still stimulates you. And it's even worse for children who are going to school. There's no motivation when you have to walk by vacant buildings, burnout buildings, and the fear of the type of activities that may be going on in those places as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I emphasize pressing your elected officials. And we all know, Theo, there's that old expression, all politics are local.
Oh, yes.
So
that's definitely local.
You don't wait till the national election for senators, representatives, and particularly the president, because that does get the most press. That does get the most attention by the media. But you can't ignore what's going on in your area, like when we lost the residency for police officers. This is something that because we do have a Democratic governor, Senate, and legislature, representatives.
Yes.
So when they had the ball in their court, so to speak, they did what they wanted to do. We've got the ball in our court now. The question is, what are we going to do? We can't be satisfied with the fact that we got them there. We have to not only get them in position, but make sure that they make decisions, and not make decisions based on the longevity of their career. That's the unfortunate thing, Theo, from and I think you told me this once before, but if you're if you serve 2 terms with the city council, then you're guaranteed some sort of a pension or something?
Well, they were trying to, this was back when Dennis Archer was mayor. He was trying to get it reduced to 4 years, and they could get a pension, and that did not get approved. And now recently I thought I had come across some information that said you had to work for the city 10 years in order to get a pension.
Now, how does that work with city council? If you're on city council, do you have to be in for at least 2?
To each term is 4 years.
Okay.
So you'd have to be in for 2.5 terms to get to 10 years in order to receive a pension. And same for city workers, they have to, be there for 10 years to get a pension.
Now, the city workers, I can go along with that. The politicians, sometimes that's all they want to do. We know that too many times we've had unqualified people who just put their name on the ballot and were able to sneak in there and get the job. And then there again, the lobbyists, the special interest groups that come from the Illiches, the Penske's, et cetera, will kind of, slide them a little money, especially for the campaign because they can get away with that, but there has been some under the table, like with the towing incident. There have been some under the table business, backdoor room business.
Yes. Now they got a new backroom issue going on with the police commission. And the head of that department and the secretary have been there for 3 years at what do they call it? Oh, goodness. It was term until somebody is hired. And
Interim
thank you, interim. But why does it take you 3 years to find somebody to fill each of those jobs? 3 years?
And my part of the point that I'm pushing to you viewers and listeners, that many times the people will get in just to be able to say, number one, they have the position, to be able to get whatever perks and fringe benefits that come with it, but whatever your needs are totally ignored. Now, part of the reason they can ignore it, again, as I said, there's a representative who represents an affluent community, which also encompasses geographically a middle income and a lower income community. And they're catering to the affluent community. Now, the point being is that if the people, and they probably outnumber, I'm saying, the middle class and the lower class, those who may be working minimum jobs, I'm sure they outnumber the affluent, as has always been the case.
Yes.
Yet those who are affluent tend to not only make financial contributions, but they make their voices heard. Those who are in the middle and lower class, fast food jobs, working 2 jobs, don't do that.
Because they don't understand the power that they have.
And that has been something that's crippled us a long time. We, look at things as individuals when we should look at things as a collective.
Yes.
If we think collectively, then we do collectively. And I have pushed this because I keep finding different black businesses that I cater to. But I have to say this. I keep pushing the Kwanzaa principle of Ujamaa, which is cooperative economics. And I have to say that I have, and this is just who I am, I have a very strong sense of pride when I walk in there and I know that I'm helping this brother or this sister with their business. It just, it makes me feel good, you know.
Right.
And not only that, but I make it a point to interact with them. I don't just go in there as a customer, purchase something and leave. I let them know how proud I am of them, how well I think their business is set up, and that how they are a benefit to the community I live in.
Well, let me talk about one. It is on Linwood and Glendale. The family has owned the property since 1967-68. And it is a grocery store and now owned by a black lady in the family. You know, it's been passed down. She lived in the Morgan Estates, was doing very well. Decided when she thought about the area, drove through the area, that there was a need there, and she was able to fulfill it. The grocery store is on Linwood at Glendale, and we are at the hour where we must take a pause for the cause, and we want you to stay tuned, and we'll be back momentarily.
This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman. I am here to address all of your complaints and concerns. If you need assistance regarding city services, please contact my office at 313-224-6000 or contact us via email at ombudsman@detroitmi.gov. This is Bruce Simpson, your City of Detroit Ombudsman.
It's the These Nuts Show with your host, Butter and friends. Butter here, magician escape artist, practicing for my show tonight. Come on in, have a seat.
All right, everybody settle. Butter, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In a few seconds, you gotta be enough to get out of this one. Twist a little turn, ta-da! It's showtime! It's your old friend Butter here. I may be a nut, but I know to wear my mask. Please welcome my first guest tonight, fitness guru, Wally Warmer.
Wally Warmer here to tell you to wash your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds so you will stay healthy and strong like me.
Almond Cruz here, sliding in with the news. Distance is what we must do to stay away from the chin and other germs in the air that might be trying to get on you.
Social distancing is a wonderful way to see friends. As long as you're 6 feet apart, you win.
Hey there, friends. I wouldn't miss this for the world. It's me, Pumpkin Spice, your healthy girl. Remember, it's important to use your kind hearts and follow the signs to stay healthy and safe at all times.
Chica Chiminsky here to say, don't forget the little ones that need you to lead the way. That's how we remember to wash our hands, mask, and social distance today.
Morgan Raisin. Yes, it's me, here to sing about health and safety. We are all here to help get a message out to your grapevine, teaching healthy choices to stay safe all the time.
Don't let these guys drive you nuts. Put your mask on first. They'll let you be. And it keeps me safe from the...
Chew!
That's trying to get on me.
Butter me up. She's right, you know. Thank you, Hallie Cranberry, for joining the show. Let's all be nuts about our health. Social distancing, wash your hands frequently, use hand sanitizer, and wear a mask. Practice what we learned to stay away from the germs. We're all in this together. Coming soon, the many adventures of these nuts in a theater near you.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit.
WGPR Detroit, HD2.
Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am Thabiti Mpinga,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback.
And thank you so much for staying with us this Monday, the 3rd of April. And the weather temperatures are getting better and better and better. Oh, something good to look forward to. Also, I want to let you know that on April the 20th, the gentleman, Hill Harper from the Good Doctor television program, is going to be at the Bridge Center on Grand River near Livernois. The address is 9928 Grand River, 9928 Grand River. Last week, was it last week? A week and a half ago. Anyway, I had an opportunity to hear Joe Madison, who was in town at the center, and was very glad to have had an opportunity to hear him speak. The April 20th, I'm thinking is on a Thursday. I think it may be on a Thursday. 6 and 7 is 13 and 7 is 20. Yeah, it will be on a Thursday. And again, the address is 9928 Grand River. The lecture series is free to all who find the interest and time to attend. It begins at 6 o'clock. Seating is first come, first serve.
I'm still trying to pull this up.
Oh, we have someone on the phone who might be able to give us some assistance.
Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the phone, on the air, actually. Yes. Would you give us your name and how you're viewing us?
Oh, this is Slasso Silverado.
Hey, happy Monday. Go
I'm
ahead.
watching you from my laptop.
Yeah.
I've been having problems with my phone, laptop, and my internet. So if we get cut off, it's on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my. I'm having issues.
Okay.
But I wanted to get in that Detroit is advancing civilian oversight. Tuesday, April the 4th, the disgraced Sergeant Dwayne Jones will appear at the 36th District for another assault pretrial in the courtroom of Honorable E. Lanice Bryant. The pretrial starts at 9:10
But the group will gather at 3:50 p.m. and arrive 10 minutes ahead of news conference. I guess they're going to have a news conference.
That's 10 minutes to 4, right? You said 3:50. Is that what you said?
Yeah, they're arriving at 3:50 p.m. 10 minutes ahead of the news conference.
Okay.
So people can comment on how the first of the pretrial hearing is going, as well as ongoing problems with the Board of Police Commissioners, because they are actually vote to keep this man in.
And this is the police officer who beat down a woman who was in emergency, right? And
yeah,
okay, all right. And he had been excused and then given a promotion. I guess for domestic violence. Well, it wouldn't be domestic violence, but for assault is what it's been termed. Right? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So now give the date again for this pretrial. You say.
Okay. So the Tuesday, April 4th.
That's tomorrow.
36th District Court.
Okay.
Assault pretrial in the courtroom, and it's 9:10 a.m. The judge is Honorable E. Lanice Bryan.
Now, what does 9:10 a.m. have to do with this?
They're going to court at 9:10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
The court time is 9:10 a.m.
That's a strange time. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right.
And I sent the flyers regarding the home buyers program.
Yes.
I just got it.
Okay, tell you can tell it. You can read it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thabiti, my co-host, has the information which he is going to share. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to happen Thursday, April 13th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's free admission. It's at Mary Grove College, the Madam Cadillac Hall, which is located 8425 West McNichols. The Greater Detroit Realist Association, local board of National Association of Real Estate Brokers, GDRA Homebuyers and Lenders Resource Fair. Your one-stop shop for your mortgage, loan, realtist services. Home buyers, there is a mortgage for you. The topics will be mortgage products with flexible underwriting guidelines, up to $25,000 in down payment assistance programs, up to 20% property tax abatements, lower mortgage insurance solutions, renovation mortgage loans, first-time home buyers savings account, college promise scholarships. They say bring a notepad, as I tell you on this show as well. Bring a notepad and take some notes. The special invited guests will include Council of Baptist Pastors of Detroit and vicinity churches, the AME, SE, Southeast Ministerial Alliance churches, the Church of God in Christ Southwest Jurisdiction churches, and the Metro Detroit Panhellenic Council. Now, to RSVP, you can either go to www.greaterdetroitrealtist, that's REALTIST, greaterdetroitrealtist.com. And for more information, you can text your full name and email to area code 313-244-5744. Again, that phone number is 313-244-5744. Now, this is done in partnership with Freddie Mac and participating financial institutions. So again, this is Thursday, April 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's free admission from the Greater Detroit Realtors Association at Mary Grove College, Madam Cadillac Hall, 8425 2425 West McNichols.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one other one, but I guess I'll go through that one real quick. This is HUD approval, free home buyer education workshop. This will be April 15th, which is the following day.
2 days later.
Yeah, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Mhm.
This is also at Mary Grove College, Madam Cadillac Hall, 8425 West McNichols. The topics there will be understanding credit, managing your money, obtaining a mortgage loan, down payment assistance, maintaining your home, housing counseling, intake process. Now, there's a number of institutions which include Freddie Mac, Bank of America, the PNC Bank, and others that are available to help you with that. Now, you can call area code 313-338-3840. Again, that's 313-338-3840. And you will speak to either Tamika Gibson Vaughn or Renee Johnson. And I'll give that again before the end of the show.
Mm-hmm. And
also, included in that is they will do a free credit check for you, your credit score.
Right. And everyone is entitled to a free credit check once a year. Once a year. You are entitled to a free credit check. And the other thing that was mentioned, I've heard this gentleman, Ken Scott, speak before, and that is if a person has had their home foreclosed on, they somehow fit into one of the programs that's going to be presented as a first-time home buyer. And there are people who are eligible, and they're included, to receive up to $25,000 to obtain the home. And so often people think, oh, well, I can't qualify, so I just, stay here and, and feel sorry for myself. They don't have to do that. The program at Mary Grove College location, which is on McNichols, also known as 6 Mile Road in Wyoming. And the information is free of charge. They just want you to RSVP, so they'll know how many are coming. Does it say they have refreshments? Is that what it's for?
It doesn't say refreshments.
Okay. But they will have plenty of literature to pass out to empower you and to assist you if you have the idea and thought that you want to be a home owner. Being a home owner prevents your rent from going up $250 at the beginning of the year or whenever they decide to increase your rent. So knowing that we have gentrification going on, why not look into home ownership?
And I want to add, because I have a relative who is now renting, but I was told that this relative, I didn't speak to him directly, is considering buying a home now. And one of the things I want to say to you all who are in homes that you're renting or apartments that you're renting, that you will never own that. That's number one. That's just obvious. You will never own it. Number two, you're at the discretion of whoever you're renting from, whether they want to increase the amount of money that they charge you for rent. And in many cases, and I'm sure this resource fair will help out, in many cases, the money that you're paying for rent could be, especially with the $25,000 assistance. Keep that in mind. That's very critical. With that type of assistance, you can move into a home where you're paying less money than you're paying in rent to a slumlord or landlord or any other kind of lord. You're paying money for something. And I've known of people who have been in apartment buildings and in homes where A matter of fact, a relative was living in a home that he was renting for 5 years, and now he had to move out into another relative's home because that guy decided he didn't want to have any more renters. He wanted to sell the property. So if you're in a property that somebody is renting you or leasing you, for that matter, at their discretion, they can decide they don't want to be in the business anymore. They want to sell the property rather than hold on to it, just cash out. And then that means you're out in the street or you have to scuffle to find a way. So a program like this is, and again, $25,000. That can get you a nice down payment on a very nice home that you can call your own, and then you can take care of the yard and everything like what I was saying. Keep it clean because that's yours, and there's a certain amount of pride that you get in saying that this is my home. You come to it every day, wherever you come from work at, you come home and say, this is my home. This is my driveway. This is my everything, and can't nobody take it from me. So don't keep spending money year after year, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 a month for an apartment. Not only that, you have, and I've lived in apartments, so I can just say this from experience. I was never comfortable with the idea that I'm using the same interest that 4 or 5 other people are using, so we're all here collectively. And in the apartment that I was in, a man fell asleep while cooking some food. Fortunately, it didn't burn the apartment, but what it did is we could smell his burnt pinto beans or whatever they were all throughout the complex because, and it could have been worse. We could have lost everything.
Wow.
So again, as I say, I'm going to repeat this probably in the next 5 minutes, and I want you who did not have pen or paper handy to get it handy, and the most critical things will be the things that they offer and the phone numbers. Some of you may want to go on the website, but if you call, then you have a direct conversation with someone on the other end where you can ask specific questions.
Okay.
And know that the window of opportunity is short because by the time they give us the information, the money has already have a list of people lined up for it.
Very
That's important.
Right. Yeah. To think that. That's true. Oh,
They give it to us at the very end of the program.
Right. Well, there are 2 presentations. The first one is April the 13th. The second one is April the 15th.
So that's a Thursday and a Saturday. And certainly those of you who are not working the weekend, it's just in your best interest. And then it's later in the evening as well from 6 to 9. Many people who have day jobs will have the opportunity to attend there. When you leave work, just come on over and you can decide to be a home owner as opposed to a renter because you will never own that property. And another thing about renting too that I know from experience is that if you have a problem in the home, maybe the basement's backing up, maybe the stairs don't have a railing or something like that, you go through hell trying to get the landlord to come over there and fix something, and if he doesn't pay the property taxes, and we've seen this happen too many times, the city or the county may come and take that property, and you're the last one to know. He didn't share with you the fact that he's behind in his taxes, but what happens to you is you end up being on the street without any notification. So it's just so important to have your own. God bless the child, right?
That's got his own. That's right. I remember
That's right. That's what happened to me. I was renting a duplex, and the lady stopped paying her mortgage. And they came, and the bailiffs was on their way, so I got counseling and got out of there.
Oh, wow. They didn't even give it notice. That's,
Yeah, and then they were trying to get us to buy it. When they took it over, they said we had an opportunity to buy it.
Yeah, but they told you at the last...
young and dumb and didn't know it.
But they told you at the last minute.
Yeah,
you know,
it takes, this property is blah, blah, blah. And
it takes preparation.
I talked to the counselors,
right,
and they helped me get relocated.
Yeah, they will send those bailiffs, and the bailiffs, they have to do their job. They don't really want to do what they have to do, but they have to. And the bad thing, like with what you were saying, Sly Soul, Sly Go, is that they send the notices to whoever has the mortgage on the property. So whoever's renting has no idea what's going on. You're completely in the dark.
Yes.
You could keep giving your money and then find out
Yes.
they're 6 months behind, and it's a done deal at that point. And I've seen a
Yes.
few things on television recently where people have got jammed in that same type of thing, and they say, I had no idea. I was giving the man my money, and then I get a knock on the door from the city saying this property either is going to be condemned, or the city's taking over this property, or the mortgage company, the bank, whoever may have held the loan on it. And at that point, you got to scramble thinking you got a week to get out, maybe not even a week. You may only have a couple of days to move because everything's been processed through the court at that point. So it becomes very critical to so now, because we're about 20 after on the show, I'm gonna read this information again. I hope you've all had a chance to grab a pen and paper. Okay, Marygrove College, Madam Cadillac Hall, 8425 West McNichols, Thursday, April 13th from 6 to 9 p.m. free admission. The Greater Detroit Realtors Association, local board of National Association of Real Estate Brokers, is having a home buyers and lenders resource fair. The topics will be mortgage products with flexible underwriting guidelines, up to $25,000 in down payment assistance, up to 20% property tax abatements, lower mortgage insurance solutions, renovation mortgage loans, first-time home buyers savings account, college promise scholarships. And again, they say bring a notepad and take some notes. The special invited guests will be Council of Baptist pastors of Detroit and vicinity churches, the AME-SE Ministerial Alliance churches, the Church of God jurisdiction churches, and the Metro Detroit Pan-Hellenic Council. You can RSVP at www.greaterdetroitrealtist, Realtist is spelled REALTIST. That's greaterdetroitrealtist.com, or even easier for you, just write down this phone number, area code 313-244-5744. And this is in partnership with Freddie Mac, as you know, is a federal institution. The second one, which is April 15th, which is on a Saturday, free home buyer education workshops. Topics: understanding credit, managing your money, obtaining a mortgage loan, down payment assistance, maintaining your home, housing counseling intake process. This is from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Remember, this is Saturday, April 15th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is also at Marygrove College, Madam Cadillac Hall, which is located at 8425 West McNichols. And as Theo said, we also call it 6 Mile here. Institutions that are participating include Freddie Mac, PNC Bank, CIBC Bank, Bank of America. And
Liberty Bank is also involved with that. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay, and Liberty Bank is good. That's a black-owned bank.
Right.
I just want to emphasize that. The contact information is area code 313-338-3840. Again, that's 313-338-3840. And if this information doesn't help you, maybe you got somebody living in your home or something like that, and they've been wanting to get out and have their own. Now, the free credit reports with completed intake forms, there will be 2 sessions. Session 1 will be from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Session 2 will be from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. It's free. You're invited. And when you call the number I gave you, you will speak to either Tamika Gibson Vaughn or Renee Johnson. So I hope that you've got this information not only for yourself, but somebody in your family, a neighbor, or someone who just wants to become a homeowner. There's no greater pride than being a homeowner, I can tell you that.
That's absolutely right. You know, I just would like to take the last, I guess, few minutes or so of the program to talk about Hood Research. Hood Research is a community-based organization that believes that people would do better if they cared. We encourage you to understand that changing policies, laws, positions in the city in which we live depends on you participating in the election process. There are those people who will say, oh, my vote don't count. Well, they're absolutely right. Their vote doesn't count if they don't cast their vote. If it was not true, then the others who are trying to, I guess, keep us down, if you will, would not be trying so hard to prevent us from voting. They are certainly aware of the fact that in the most recent presidential election, President Joe Biden won because of the black community getting out to vote. It's been announced, pronounced, exclaimed all over the place, and including by the President Joe Biden, that he won through the support by the black community. That's showing you that your vote does count. He acknowledges that your vote counts. But you can't just stop there, because as the BD said a little earlier, all politics is local. So we need to know that there are things that need to change right here where we live. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that there's power in your hands. You got to believe that you can make a difference. You know, believe in yourself was a phrase from the Wizard of Oz. And that has not changed. You have the power in your hands to make a difference. Hood Research encourages you to participate with us. We have a conference call each and every Saturday. And for those of you who did get out your pen and paper, know that you can call between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6. That's every Saturday. And the number to call is 1. You must dial a 1. Otherwise, you end up with somebody's personal number. But it's, you dial 1-978 area code 990-5000. Once again, dial 1 area code 978, phone number 990-5000. It rings one time. When it answers, you're asked to put in the access code. And the access code is 338729. Press the pound key, and you'll hear us talking. You might even hear a little bit of music. Again, the access code is 338729. Press the pound key. Some people call it hashtag, and some people call it a tic-tac-toe sign. Whatever you call it, press it, and you'll hear us talking. That's each Saturday. Saturday between the hours of 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. You're not required to come on and stay for 3 hours. You can get your washing done, grocery shopping done, or whatever else you need, and then join us. Just think about that. That's each Saturday. Hood Research has a phone number, which is area code 248-234-2371. Again, the Hood Research telephone number is area code 248-234-2371. We have an email, which is contact@hoodresearch.org. contact@hoodresearch.org. That's our email. We want you to know that we have a website. We have a Facebook page. You are surely encouraged to join us on Facebook. And we ask that you follow us on Twitter as well. Those are the things that the research is about, what we're doing. And as I said earlier, we are interested in curb appeal. So we'll continue to talk about that from time to time. And know this, that this year, we're hoping that we'll be able to have a luncheon. We haven't had one of those in a long time. We're at the end of the show. I want to thank all of you for staying tuned in. And we look forward to you tuning in again next Monday, right here at 9 a.m. The BD. I want to say that people would do, they don't have to know everything. They just need to know how to find what they need when they need it. We at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can and encourage you to call in and share. The BD.
And I'd like to say, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you're finished. And all you seniors who are 60 and over, they're registering for classes at Wayne County Community College now. So get on board, get you at least one class.
And free classes, particularly in learning how to use the computer. All right.
We'll see you again next week.
Okay. Peace.
Peace.
Feedback. Feedback.
Hi, this is Theo Broughton,
And I am the BD Impinda,
inviting you to join us each Monday at 9 a.m. for feedback.
a positive image production by Hood Research.
Encourage others to tune in each Monday on
Comcast Detroit, Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Watch WHPR TV Network anywhere.
and take us along with you.
Feedback. Feedback. Feedback.